Are you like me? Are you neurotic about trying to be successful in all aspects of life? Perhaps you're trying to furiously climb the corporate ladder, like a fireman on a rescue mission. If you have a spouse and kids, you're stressing about saying the right things, doing the right things, expounding words of wisdom, and setting the perfect example. Maybe you're pounding that Peloton to shed just one more inch off of that waistline. And in every interaction with people that you encounter, you are trying to sound witty and humorous and intelligent, thinking about every word before they come out of your mouth, trying to execute them with precision. All of this is way too tall of a task. Thankfully, the famed film director Woody Allen gave us an interesting key to achievement when he said, 80% of success in life is just showing up. Thank goodness for that. To be fair, Woody Allen's verbatim quote was, "Showing up is 80% of life. Sometimes it's easier to just hide at home in bed. I've done both." End quote. It's so true, right? Sometimes it is easier to not face the day and just stay in bed, in your pajamas, under the covers, hiding from the world with your eyes closed. But if you just take that one step out of bed and a second step out the door, granted, please change out of your pajamas, then you have made two big strides to success. There's scientific proof for this. I consider myself a gym enthusiast, though many times I'm far from enthusiastic about going to the gym. Gosh, I used to be such a gym rat in my 20s. Now that I'm not in my 20s, just taking that one step across the threshold of the gym entrance is a monumental task. But have you noticed? Once you start exercising and moving around and building up a sweat, all of a sudden you feel great about yourself, you're happier, you get through that amazing workout, and you're super proud of yourself. That is the magic of endorphins. Endorphins are peptides secreted within the brain that activate the body's opiate receptors and produce an analgesic effect. Now, I don't know what that means, but that sounds powerful. I heard the word opiate in there. Get me more of that. Really, with a useful exercise regimen, all it took was just showing up at the gym. The same can be said, though over longer periods of time, about showing up at work. Aside from a few of us that are living the dream and having a wonderful job, for many of us, the job can at times be monotonous, mundane, just plain blah. I can personally attest to this. Early in my own career, I had secured a job with a really good company and really good people, but the daily tasks I was doing was rather tedious and frankly boring. I was literally pushing papers. Papers were placed into my inbox, I processed them, and I placed the papers in my outbox. Now I come from the proverbial old school, where you just shut your mouth and grind it out. And that I did. For 5 years. I literally sat in the same desk for 5 years. But a funny thing happened on the way to that tenure. Over time, I found that many of my colleagues would approach me for guidance and advice and tips. And the reason why is frankly because I had seen it all and I had done it all. Simply by showing up to work every day, I became an expert in what I did. And this laid an amazing foundation for my career. I have 3 young children, and though I'm still trying to figure things out, I'm drawing interesting parallels between how my parents parented and how I aim to parent as a parent. Apparently, a big key to success in parenting is just showing up. As a kid, I had lots of activities, from baseball games to band concerts, spelling bees to science fairs, karate tournaments to graduations. The lone constant across all of those occasions is that my parents were there, all the time. They showed up. As I visualize all of those occasions throughout my childhood, I don't really remember whether I won or lost. I don't remember what my parents said to me afterwards, and I don't recall if they took me to McDonald's for a celebratory Happy Meal after that. But I do remember that they were there every time. They showed up early, and they typically sat up front. What an amazing effect that had on me as a young kid. My parents were busy with their own interests and activities, but they set all of that aside to show up for me. I felt valued. I felt important. As a parent myself, I'm trying to do the same thing for my own children. My wife and I have busy schedules with work and activities, and our kids have busy schedules as well. But we make it a point to show up for the activities. Work be darned, we're going to be there. We're going to show up early, and we're going to sit up front. It's the best expression of love that we can give them. If you want to be a better parent, just show up. And lastly, the same strategy can be applied to my involvement with Toastmasters. Now, the theme of my speech of just showing up is rather oxymoronic in light of the current pandemic and social distancing and shelter in place. But prior to this massive disruption of our routine, my particular Toastmasters club met twice a month. Every month, we would just show up. We would enjoy one another's company, have various speaking parts, have a few laughs, and along the way, we've all become better speakers. I've personally been involved with Toastmasters for 3.5 years now, and many of you may feel that I'm a pretty decent speaker. You are too kind and a bit misled, but seriously, I would attribute my growth to not much more than just showing up to our meetings. And so, my friends, we are all trying to be more confident speakers, more courageous leaders, more diligent workers, and just overall better people. We search for sophisticated strategies and eloquent experts to provide for us those keys of wisdom. But rest assured, friends, we need look no further than the witty Woody Allen and follow his sage advice to just show up. I thank you.